Welcome to the Training Portal podcast, where we delve into the heart of growth and transformation, both personal and professional. I'm your host, Melissa Mostert, and every fortnight, I'll be sharing a meaningful conversation over coffee with industry leaders, innovators, and changemakers. Welcome back to the Training Portal podcast. Today's episode is hosted by the always insightful Danie Krige, who sits down with two members of the dynamic Gin Wizard band to explore the heart and soul of two powerhouse genres, blues and rock. Joining Danie today are Chloe, a rock vocalist with serious stage presence and vocal firepower, and Richard, the band's talented guitarist and musical backbone. Together, they unpack the concepts behind their genre-blending live show, Blues versus Rock, where different musical worlds collide in one unforgettable performance. In this episode, they reflect on musical awakenings, the genres that shaped us, and what it takes to keep live music alive in South Africa today. Whether you're a die-hard rocker, a blues lover, or just someone who appreciates great stories and even better music, this conversation is packed with energy, nostalgia, and creativity. So turn up the volume for Blues versus Rock starts now.
Tell me, guys. I thank you for coming. I'm such a big music fan and rock and roll fan specifically.
Good.
I've been listening to music from, I think, age 7. I grew up in a small Free State town called Jagersfontein, which nobody knows. It's not even on Wikipedia, but it's actually a small diamond mining town. And I remember, I think, age 7, I came home from school and I watched on TV the music video of Orinoco Flow from Enya, of all things. And for some reason that sound and everything just resonated with me, and I was like obsessed, and I just wanted to hear more and more. I think back then I dubbed it like back then you listen to it on the radio and dub it or record it. Just with a basic recorder on tape or something. You just listen every day, listen over and over like for 2 weeks. And back then I was like, this is something cool and magical and almost like, out of this world in a way. Did you guys, how did you kind of discover your passion for music, and do you also remember that moment or not really?
Well, I mean, my dad always had records. He had the Beatles, he had Simon and Garfunkel, we had Billy Joel, Tina Turner. So we used to listen to a lot of records, and only until I was 12 did I start like getting my own music. I started getting into the classic rock stuff, like Deep Purple was one of my first bands. Queen, The Game, that album. And The Police. I loved The Police. So those albums all got me on to eventually, like maybe a few months later, Judas Priest, Black Sabbath.
A few months later,
because I was like, this is cool. This is great. I want more of this stuff. So I'd sometimes look at the back of the Scope. My dad had Scope magazine.
Oh.
And then they used to do the record reviews
at
the back. And I saw this one band, Black Sabbath. And I thought, wow, that was Never Say Die. That these two guys with masks, air masks on, they were fighter pilots. And I went to Ragtime Records and I said, took a train in and I said, I want Black Sabbath. I want to hear it. It sounds cool. And they said, no, they didn't have that album, but they've got Paranoid. So I listened to Paranoid and that was me. I said, yes, I want that album. I'm taking it home. And that sort of got me onto the classic rock side of things.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But how did you get access to the Scope magazines of your dad?
My dad, I know you just had them lying around. Okay. He would sometimes take the models. They would sometimes be dressed up in soap. They'd have a lot of soap all over them, and then he would do the nude without the soap.
Oh.
He used to sketch, and he used to do like art. So that was his thing. So I used to get all of the Scope magazine and just go to the back.
Cool.
Yeah.
After going through the front.
And you, Chloe?
Well, I was a child in the early 2000s, so
Yeah, so
a
different.
very, very different era of music. And when I grew up, there was a lot of bubblegum pop on the radio.
Yeah.
So you can think like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera,
Mm.
Backstreet Boys. They all kind of sounded the same to me, not really inspiring. My personal opinion, synthetic, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then I remember I was also about 7. I heard Avril Lavigne, Skater Boy, for the first time.
He was a skater boy. She said, see you later, boy.
And for me, that was the game changer. She sounded so different compared to the other artists that were on the radio. Not only her sound and her music, but also her personality and her performance. She was against the grain. She dressed how she wanted to dress, sang the songs that she wanted to sing. And yeah, that kind of taught me that I can be a female artist and still be authentic to myself. I don't need to look a certain way or sing certain songs. And from Avril Lavigne, I think I did a little backwards loop there into classic rock, where I was like, all right, well, where did Avril Lavigne get her sound from? Where did this rock sound come from? And then I backtracked into the Janis Joplins and the Led Zeppelins and
Oh.
slow progression. I only got there when I was about 13, but got there nonetheless.
But I've got a different story from myself that I remember. We moved from the small town to the big city of Bloemfontein. I don't know if you heard about that town. But my parents used to go and visit family members, like in the Transvaal back then. And back then I was like, at that stage, only listening to, I don't know, like almost my brother. He's older than me. So he was big into like high energy music of the 1980s, which I think was almost the pop of the day. I don't know. I listened to that in techno and stuff like that. And I will never forget, I was sitting in my bed and my brother came in with a Queen tape. It was the Miracle album of Queen. And he handed me this tape and he said, listen to this. Something to listen on your Walkman, your tape Walkman, while mom is driving or dad. And then my sister said, he made a comment, she said, there's devils, you know.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I thought, well, then I want
That's
to
good.
I really want to listen to it. Yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna listen where the devil is in this, and I started listening. I'm like, yes, but it's I don't hear the devil, but it's nice. It's the first time in my life I heard like proper instruments, like a band playing, and I listened to you, especially how they did it, the kind of music that you could listen, right? Here's the drums and here's the guitar and here's this nice singer. Everyone, you know, everything with its space or place. And I thought, you know, that was like my journey really into rock and roll music from there, you know, going from Enya and stuff. Luckily, I kind of moved
Crossed
on
over.
pass over from Enya. The other interesting thing that maybe you don't agree with me, but it always felt to me that you don't choose the genre chooses you. I always think about, like you say, about Black Sabbath and Judas Priest. I think they both originate from Birmingham. And it's so ironic. I don't know why it happened like that, which came first, but
Black Sabbath.
you know, you kind of, it's like they created the genre called heavy metal music, but they come from Birmingham, from the steel factories. So it's kind of ironic in that way. And then you find like Kurt Cobain, Nirvana coming from Seattle, and where the sun never shines and stuff like that. And there's almost like a genre developed from that. And the blues from Mississippi and the cotton fields, and I guess almost like slavery in a way, potentially. How do you guys feel about that? Do you agree with that? Don't you agree with that? Do you think that
Well, I think
your circumstances determines kind of the music that you like?
could be, but you know, I think people were ready for new stuff, and it hadn't been done before. So the 60s was an experimental time, and just as they got to the late 60s, a lot of bands trying out new things. And so sort of Black Sabbath had that feeling of, it was heavier than the general stuff. It had that riff, it had that tritone substitution sort of riff. It sounded a little bit more evil, dark. My parents didn't like it
didn't
at all.
like it, yeah.
Which
That's
made
why
it
you
even-
liked it.
Which made it even more beckoning.
Yeah.
So that started off a whole new wave of people who listened to that and then grew up with that music and started to create their own brands of it. But yeah, I think maybe there must be a inherent music inside all of us, and then we listen to the sounds around us, and that brings our musical personality out,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
We'll know when we hear it,
Yeah.
and then you just make notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I mean, I think I also started my singing journey more in the pop route,
Yeah.
but I think purely because my voice suited that at the time. When I was in my teens, my voice sounded like a Disney princess. So as much as I wanted to sing rock,
That's good.
I
Still good.
couldn't. It didn't sound good, you know.
I was
It
watching
doesn't.
some old
You
clips of yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woof. Yeah, not good. I wouldn't say so. But as soon as my voice matured and I matured and got into different bands and started singing other songs from other people's inspiration, not necessarily my own inspiration, I found my own niche then and what clicked with me as a singer, with my voice, with my performance. And you kind of cultivate it over time and through experience. Yeah, and now I've definitely got a better repertoire based on what I enjoy. And I think that resonates with the audience. Well, I hope it does.
That's so cool because I don't know of a lot of artists. I'm sure they're there, but I don't personally know of a lot of artists that made a transition from pop
Mm,
to rock.
mm.
And I mean, some of the stuff that you sing is pretty
Rocky.
proper rock. you
Yeah,
know.
hard rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I like to challenge myself and I like to learn new genres. So I would say I started more with pop rock, like
Yeah.
Pink,
Yeah.
Kelly Clarkson, Avril
Yeah.
Lavigne. That was my forte. And then, especially meeting Richard, he likes to throw people in the deep end, but
Mm.
a good deep end, you know?
Mhm.
He's like, well, I can hear this in your voice.
Yeah.
I know you can do it, so I'm going to let you try it. And I mean, if it weren't for that confidence that he had in me, I probably would never have thought that I could do that or pull it off. You know, you try, you learn how people sing, learn how to manipulate your voice to create certain sounds.
Mm.
And yeah,
Well, we're moving Chloe into the blues now as well.
Yeah, I'm very
So, and
excited
I mean,
about that.
and it's been great.
Yeah.
You've got the blues going there.
see, it
Absolutely.
takes the confidence because
Okay.
again, I would be like,
'Cause I mean,
can't do.
Yeah.
I'll know. I don't want to go and play if
Yeah.
the singer's completely out of genre and it's just not cracking it.
Yeah.
It's not going to make my experience great. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad.
It's the main
Yeah,
thing.
me too. Me too.
You know, I'm such a fan. I told Chloe that I saw you guys. I was looking. I was fresh from Bloom, and I was looking for. You know, I thought, well, I'm in a big city now. There's opportunities to see some live bands for a change and rock bands. So I stumbled onto you guys at a show at Die Boer in Durbanville.
Okay.
And I'm a big fan of the Boer also now.
Yeah.
I go regularly. But I saw you guys and I'm such a fan now. I think I went to you guys 3 times. And I invite my friends and say, listen, come and watch this show. I think it's quite special. And I think what you do with the female singers and doing, because I think a lot of rock and roll has been, you could say maybe a little bit more male
Well, it's
dominant
male
over
dom.
the year over the years. And I think it's quite unique to have the female singers and alternating between rock and blues. Where did you, or who came up with that idea of alternating the two and having like strong female voices and
Well,
singers?
I mean, I grew up with classic rock and then later on got into the blues
Yeah.
when I joined Boulevard Blues. And so I started, eventually I was running a festival called the Table Mountain Blues Summit.
Yeah.
That was my festival. And that was
Nice.
blues artists,
Mm.
but blues rock in some ways.
Yeah.
And then around about 2011, I started a concept called Blues Meets Rock. And I wanted to meet.
Yes.
So we used to have a set of blues, have a break, then do a second set of
Yes.
rock. But then it was a mixture of blues and rock, and then it was blues rock. But the show Blues Meets Rock was a thing that I did for many years. I still call it Blues Meets Rock.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I had a page and everything even got the website out, but I never took it much further than that. And then eventually I did 2 festivals called the Big Blues Meets Rock Festival. And there I had like guys like Dan Pedlansky, Black Cat Bones. We had about like 15 bands, including Fun Coke,
Mm.
the whole toot.
Yeah.
So that was my thing. That's
Yeah.
what I loved, is mixing the 2 genres,
Yes.
because I love both.
Yeah. And it works so well. You know, I love the fact that you don't get, because I love blues and rock, but sometimes, you know, if it's the same genre for an hour and a half straight, you know, it's nice to alternate. You know, it's like 2 songs of this, and then it feels fresh every time.
Well, blues is freer. So, you know, you can actually go somewhere with a song where you didn't go last week, or it's like, what are we going to do here? Well, let's just run this again. And we give looks, and somebody's going to sing a song, another verse. But a rock standard has to be like that. You can't play the Teen Spirit Nirvana solo. You can't improvise that solo. It's got to be played like that. Same with The Journey. Don't Stop Believing. You can't mess around with that. It's got to be done like that. So it always gets done like that, hopefully.
Yeah.
Before we continue with the rest of the interview, here's a quick look at how Training Portal empowers individuals and businesses through skills development. We are excited to share with you how we can support your business's growth with our expertly designed training solutions. At Training Portal, we are proud to be a leader in skills development consulting and a multi-accredited training academy committed to solving your unique challenges through innovative and cost-effective solutions. Whether you are looking to enhance your team's skills, comply with industry regulations, or maximize your BEE scores, our extensive range of over 300 short courses and more than 30 fully accredited qualifications cover all your needs. From agriculture to information technology, our CETA and QCTO accredited qualifications are designed to provide comprehensive learning experiences. We here at Training Portal understand that every organization is unique. That is why we tailor our training programs to fit your specific requirements, ensuring maximum benefits within your available resources. Our innovative learning platform allows for flexible, self-paced study, available both on-site at your premises and through our Training Portal campuses all across South Africa. Our process is straightforward yet impactful. Starting with a detailed consultation, we develop bespoke solutions that align with your training, financial, and BEE objectives. Success stories from our clients across 18 industries are a testament to our commitment. With Training Portal, you achieve more than your training outcomes. You gain a partner who stands by you from the initial consultation through to the continuous management of your training program. We cater to a wide array of training needs with meticulously crafted solutions. Beyond our main campuses, we have also developed a community campus initiative, bridging the education gap in rural and disadvantaged areas. Through partnerships with forward-thinking companies, we provide accessible, accredited training and rapid learning courses, directly empowering these communities. This initiative not only fosters local talent and meets the partner's skills development objectives, but also contributes significantly to the socio-economic upliftment of the areas we serve, embodying our belief in the transformative power of education for all. Now let's get back into the episode.
Now, Richard, I think you do a great job in bringing rock and blues together without it feeling too jarring as well. Like, it doesn't feel like you're in blues land and now you're in rock land. You kind of bring through the synergy throughout the show, which still makes it feel all unified. And it's something really special.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
And I think the fact that you give exposure that maybe not everyone is a rock fan. They might be a blues fan or the other way around, but the fact that it's like a wide scope and a bit of a variety, you give somebody that would be a blues fan that might become a rock fan and say, well, I like this song.
I like it a lot.
Or these 1 or 2 songs that's rock songs. And now, because I mean, coming back to the Avril Lavigne thing, I mean, you know, I think you said you were like, 7 or in primary school. I was unfortunately at that stage, I think at university, when Avril Lavigne came on the scene. But it made me think about that's also for me very important in music, is that exposure. And I think that's, a lot of people will say, the hardcore rock people might say, this and that about Avril Lavigne even. Because people are very judgmental and say, listen, I only listen to AC/DC, only Judas Priest.
Stop being so pretentious, Kyle.
Avril Lavigne is now like,
pop.
licht in the sick or something. But what I distinctly remember about her, I also liked her at this stage because it's alternative. At that stage, I was listening to like Offspring, Green Day, and things like that. Also kind of, moving forward in my music. But I saw like a performance of her at I think it was like a MTV Metallica tribute show.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it was her and Korn and Limp Bizkit and stuff. And the Metallica guys were sitting in the audience, and she gave us, and that's how I discovered Metallica, through an Avril Lavigne show at that stage. So yeah, I think it's so cool that that you have that.
Yeah, I think I'm a prime candidate for being exposed to different music styles and then being inspired by them just from the shows I've been doing with Richard, because I never would have thought I would have gone into the blues, let alone loved it. But then doing all the shows with him and watching Norza do the blues and seeing everyone's passion for it on stage,
More passion, more energy, more footwork.
I want to give it a try and I want to see what it's like. And luckily, Richard has the confidence in me and gave me the ability to do it. So
Well, I mean, a lot of the classic rock stuff is done. It's on a higher vocal
Yeah.
frequency. So
Yeah.
actually, women are very well
Yeah.
suited to
Yeah.
that style, where there's not that many. The male singers went lower as the years went on. They sort of
Yes.
everything went
Yes.
down.
Or they're also higher, like let's say like Judas Priest or whatever, that could sing very high.
Yeah, but no
to
one's
be
going to
either-
be
yeah.
covering that now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you've got more chance if you're a woman
Yeah.
to cover some of those, even Led Zeppelin
Yeah.
songs.
mm,
So, and also with Beth Hart around, bringing the rock and the blues together, and also that Janis Joplin raw feel, sort of reviving a little bit of that 70s sort of character.
Now I've got an interesting story about you guys. I saw, I think, 2 shows of you. That was great, and I wanted to invite. I saw you were playing. I'm not going to mention where, but I saw you were playing someplace, and I told my friends, no, you must come and watch the thing. I planned it in advance. I bought tickets like 2 months in advance, and it was a bit in Cape Town, but the greater Cape Town area, and we booked like accommodation there. We made a weekend of it. It was like me and 8 of my friends, and we made a huge thing. And I called like a month in advance. I called the venue people, and I said, no, I want to book a table. And I said, no, that we don't accept bookings. You have to come at this time during that day, and you get the place. I said, okay. And we went there, and when we pitched up, the venue was like chock-a-block. And the funny thing is, I checked the tables, and I saw every second table had like a reserved sign on it, and they said, no, I'll take you to your table. And we walked through that venue where you guys were performing, or were, was going to perform. And we walked like into a different bar, and she gave us like a table at the very end of that bar. So we sit like that, like me and 8 of my friends that specially arranged this. And I sat like that, and I'm like, okay, so we're going to at least hear the band vaguely, it's fine. It happens.
shame, that's such a disappointment.
But what happened was, every time you guys sang like a nice song that I was into, I would like walk to where I could see you guys. So it was that day, I'll remember, it was so cool because I had the disappointment of not seeing you guys, but also what I saw that day, I think you guys were singing Zombie. I still think, I love that rendition that you guys do, and the reaction of the people to that. But that day I saw most of the older people sitting at tables, having a meal or something and drinking, and I saw a lot of young girls dancing to you guys singing, and that was such a powerful moment that I remember. So it was a strange day of disappointment in all of my arrangements not coming off, but at least seeing that. Why do you think that despite Zombie and those type of songs, and most of your set list is maybe 30-40 years old, but and rock is not the music of the day, potentially rock and blues. Why do you think that still resonates with people to that effect, that 16-year-old girls will dance to it and also have that great experience?
Well, I mean, that music is it's like there's a museum of classic rock that's been done, and it's now like in a vault. There's a collection of those songs, and those songs are sort of eternal. They've been created, and they were on sort of the pioneering front, and we sort of went through that whole classic rock. You can make another classic rock song today, but someone is going to say, "Oh, it sounds a lot like Zombie. It sounds a lot like Paranoid or whatever." So it's sort of been exhausted in some ways. You can just come up with different incantations of the rock stuff, but those hits, it was a different time. They've been immortalized, and now they've been carried through generations. Maybe even only a 20-second clip on TikTok is all they know of Bohemian Rhapsody. No one's ever heard the whole song. My daughter will often say, but she doesn't know the whole song. She's heard some remix of it on a TikTok video.
Yeah.
So everybody knows the songs, but it's in a different, quick format.
Yeah, and they it's so cool these days. I mean, I saw the other day, I guess also on TikTok or social media, I saw a clip on, it was a Netflix series, I think Stranger Things. And
Stranger Things,
it went
with
viral apparently.
Metallica.
Yeah, there was this guy in the show that played Metallica. And now all of a sudden you have like a whole new, it went viral now. Again, there's 16-year-old boys that never, because I mean,
Same with Iron Man.
yeah, exactly. AC/DC,
So,
yeah.
No, that was Black Sabbath.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
And so suddenly that was a huge hit again.
Yeah, it's like a revival of the old music.
Yeah.
And it still resonates. It still hits the spots and it hits home. And I think that's why you get people from all varying ages
Yeah.
enjoying it and appreciating the music.
Yeah.
Even if it's nostalgic or if they've just heard it today for the first time, there's something about the lyrics that really, hits home.
Yeah. Tell me, Richard, in terms of musician, you're the guitarist of Gin Wizard, and I guess it's your brainchild and everything. What do you do for a living? Are you a professional musician? You like have a day
That's
job?
what I do. I actually do promotion and marketing. That's my main job.
You get it.
Because
Yeah.
no one's going to be promoting my stuff for me. Like as a musician, what am I doing? I'm making posters. I'm loading stuff up on Quicket.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get people to the gig.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm sending out emails. I'm boosting posts on Facebook. So that takes up most of my time, and that's not really music. But I can't do the music without that, and I don't have money to pay somebody to do that amount of work because it's just for me. So that's pretty much my job, so I can keep playing. I also teach guitar.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I mean, it's pretty much just coming up with different sort of versions of the same sort of formula. Some will be blues, some will be rock. I just don't write as much as I used to. I mean, I think the music business has changed, and it's more about marketing and promotions because we could get to a wider audience, but we're limited by, there's only even so far I can get, you know what I mean? Then it seems to hit a wall. So, and that's an ugly business.
Yeah.
Promotions and marketing
Yeah.
can be it's just not music. It uses a
Yeah.
different side of my brain. It
Yeah.
freaks out my guitar playing.
Yeah.
It's just, I
It's
can't play afterwards. I
Yeah.
spend hours in front of a computer.
Yeah.
I can't come up with a riff or anything.
Yeah.
It's just, no.
And talking about the current music scene in South Africa, and I guess worldwide, again, I watched the other day a clip of a well-known musician that said, well, even internationally, the big rock star, or in a way, with music, nobody buying albums anymore, and the whole thing has changed. So how do you see that, or how do you guys see that, the music industry in South Africa, and is it still viable or possible for a young person today to make a career out of music?
Well, I think from a vocalist's perspective, you can't only rely on having a good talent anymore. There's a lot that comes with it. Like what Richard was saying with the marketing, you have to be reliable, responsible. You have to have hard work ethic.
Yeah.
You have to be able to promote yourself on social media as well. There's a lot that comes with it, especially in Cape Town where it's such a small industry and you're competing against other amazing vocalists. You can't just rely on your talent anymore. If you're not reliable, if you don't come to a gig for sound check, if you arrive late, you're not going to be hired again. So you really have to cultivate your package as a vocalist. And I'm sure the same can be applied with a musician as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's become like, you know,
It's a
it
proper
used to be
job.
cool to be late
Yeah.
and pissed before the gig.
Rock and
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah.
Now it's not so cool. But
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the musicians back then were shrouded in mystery. You
Yeah.
didn't know. The only time you saw them was live on
Yeah.
stage. I remember seeing Black Sabbath for the first time at Sun City. I didn't know that much about them. Now they want to know what everybody eats for breakfast and what they're
Yeah.
mixing in with their food. Are they doing a high protein in the morning? It's bizarre. There's no more mystery anymore. It's just like, so that side is changed a hell of a lot. And I agree, you know, if you're getting into music, you probably need another form of income to keep your music going. I mean, unless you are really talented, you would just go and try your luck out in the USA or something, and
Yeah.
maybe. But I mean,
Yeah.
the chance of winning the lottery there
Yeah.
is small. You
Yeah.
know, you could be talented, but it means nothing.
But I mean, it seems even the overseas guys, they these days, in terms of, you know, they make their money from touring
Touring.
primarily, but
Yeah.
but they also say, especially if you're a rock band, touring means touring the US and touring the European cities.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, it's
Yeah, there's a lot of bands that just make their money through social media as well.
Yeah.
They don't even tour. They just
Yeah.
post videos and content online.
yeah,
And they can just do that in the comfort of their own home
Yeah.
and make a living out of music that way. So I guess there's different ways that you can, they do.
Oh,
Well, certain people do, I guess. You know, a handful.
let's look into it.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
exactly.
but I mean, I guess it's a tough industry to, once you decide to pursue it, it's a tough industry to get into and to make a living from. You know, because I think they say that about the becoming an estate agent as well. There's a lot of talk about, you know, transformation in the estate agent industry or property industry, but they say it's a big barrier for young people that think, well, they're gonna enter, get a job, earn X amount per month, fix, get a cell phone and a car and everything. And then I realize, oh hell, but you know, you kind of commission based and you're freelance and you have to kind of, you know, you don't have a fixed income every month. It's quite difficult to get into that and used to that.
Yeah, you got to work hard. You got to market
Yeah.
yourself. Your
Yeah.
brand has to be on social media. You really got to want it and
Yeah.
you really got to be passionate about it.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to passion at the end of the day.
More passion.
Because if you're passionate about something, you will make it work.
Yeah.
You will hustle to the point where you
Yeah.
can do it for a
Yeah.
living.
Yeah.
But that's why back in the day, the record companies took that load off the musicians. They didn't have to market themselves. They said, we'll take the most of your money,
Yeah.
give you whatever you want. You can have your drugs, you can
Yeah.
have sex, you can have
Yeah.
rock and roll, but you just write. You can go into a room and all you have to do is create songs. And
Yeah.
we're going to record.
Yeah.
We give you 3 albums, maybe 2 or 3 albums to
Yeah.
really get into the market.
Yeah.
And that's all you could do. You could party, you could just create. You'd spend 12 hours a day
Being an artist.
being an artist,
party.
not trying to sell yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
The record companies would do that. Things have changed now, so
Yeah.
the music's changed as well because
Yeah.
it's become more business. You see these ripping guitarists; they're dressed in like a tracksuit.
Yeah.
Looks like they're ready for a jog.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't look like they're ready to rock out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All these different YouTube channels. The guys are, you know, clean cut,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and yeah, they are professional. They don't drink, they don't smoke.
Mhm.
It's different.
It's short form music.
And the music has changed because of that.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
neater. It's in place.
Yes.
It's quantized, and it's
Yes.
slightly
Yeah.
generic and cut to the chase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The punchline hits within the first 4 seconds so that it can be sold on
It's
TikTok.
different.
It's
Yeah.
different.
So it's just that's what the times have
Yeah.
demanded.
Well, the shocking thing is I just got a notification in my pocket that I think
Yeah.
our time is up. I think there's we can chat about so many more stuff. But thank you for coming, and it was so nice to have you
I
guys
didn't
on.
get that notification.
We can keep going.
I mean, trying to think, where did you get that notification?
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Okay, I
having
I
us.
think that's it.
Okay.
Appreciate it.